Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we have episode 8. Yeah, episode 8. And man, today I'm so grateful. So grateful. I got my brother here, Havea.
Thanks for having me, bro. Thank you.
Man, Havea, welcome, man. Thank you for coming
Cheers,
all
man.
the way from Northside. Oh my goodness. If you guys know Northside, or for those that are from here, from Brisbane,
Kombucha, yeah.
Kombucha. That's like an hour and a half or
yeah,
something, eh?
I was 10 this morning.
Yeah.
Still quiet on traffic,
Oh,
so
man.
yeah, not too bad.
But yeah, I'm so grateful.
Bro,
Thank
cheers,
you.
man.
Thank
All
you for
good.
coming all this way. So I think just to I guess break the ice a little bit, I'm just gonna share a brief story on how I met Havea here. So last year, Fresh TV, for those of you that are from New Zealand, the Fresh TV was over here, and I was there. I was blessed enough to go along and help shoot one of their episodes. And on that day, I think it was a Saturday, Havea came through with your
My
girls.
family,
Yeah. And that was the first time I seen you. So I've been seeing all your stuff pop up on social media, with how it works. And so to me, I've seen it there on my phone, but that was my first time I physically saw you. Yeah. So I saw, met you, your girls, your wife, beautiful family, man.
Cheers, bro.
Beautiful family. But yeah, fast forward from that point to now, man. Now I'm blessed to have him on my podcast. Yeah, podcast.
That was mean experience. That was the first time doing something like that as well.
Oh yeah,
the Fresh TV behind the whole camera scene and
true
camera crew and everyone. Yeah, so that was a good experience. Eh?
Yeah.
The girls loved it. They thought they were celebrities.
Yeah, man. And even for me, when I shot that day, I've never seen like how a TV production sets up or how they operate, and so that was really eye-opening for me. Eye-opening for me, but even the other people that they had coming on. So yeah, shout out to you, Fresh TV. Thank you for the opportunity, and because of that, now I got to connect with him, with Havea, and have him on. So yeah, thank you again.
Sure.
So just to kind of go back to that day, just while we're on that topic there, I do remember when your girls came. Is it Nia? Nia's the
youngest one.
Yeah. She was a bit nervous. Eh?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and like you said, because that was the first time.
Yeah.
First time. Was there other things that maybe got her a bit nervous like that?
I think just the environment she was in. She didn't really know anyone. Apart from me and my wife and her sisters.
Yeah.
So it was just like I tried to talk her up.
Yeah.
Building onto it, but same as me, that was my first time doing that.
Yeah,
so
true.
I didn't know exactly what to expect.
Man.
But I was like, it's gonna be a camera crew there, and this is gonna be a game probably that we'll play or something. But at the end of the day, man, she was only 5 at the time. So
man,
yeah,
and that's big. That's big for a 5-year-old, eh? And your other girls as well.
Other girls,
yeah. So because I'm just curious with how they reached out to you and your family. So did they just email you?
Yeah, they because I'm through an agency. Oh, they actually reached out directly to me.
Yeah.
And then I referred them to my manager, and then she sorted everything out.
Oh, yeah.
And then because like that was my first time dealing with that too, so I was like, I don't want to dim the relationship here or say something. So I was like, just so my manager can help me out. So they done the contact, and then I think it was Bianca or B.
Yeah.
The
one awesome. In charge. Eh?
Yeah. She was really good with the girls.
She was,
she brought the girls out.
Yeah.
She's really good with kids, and so I was pretty happy that she was on board because my girls were kind of like now we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, I remember her. She spent a bit of time just to warm her in and get her all set. But man, that's experience, eh?
Bro,
that's how you can tell.
Yeah,
for someone. Because I think, she was the main director. She was the one running the whole thing. I was just there. I was the second cameraman with my other friends. We were all shooting. So, for me, I know like that was absolutely new for me, that field.
Yeah.
That was my first TV production too. But like when I was watching you and your girls do your thing, like I thought you'd done it 10 times over already.
Oh, just with my phone set up. Nothing too fancy.
Oh, man. Far out. So yeah, so that's a little story of like how we kind of crossed paths and
That's
that
crazy, man.
experience from back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we'll do right now is I think we'll just kind of go back to the very beginning for you in the content,
Content.
creation side
Yeah.
of things, because I'm just curious to know what platform or what year did you actually start to do an online presence, like
Yeah.
show yourself online?
I think COVID 2020
Oh yeah,
was when we popped off. But before that, I was always doing, like we chatted earlier about creating memories.
yeah,
And I'm a big advocate for that with my girls.
yeah, yeah,
So like if you go through like my old laptop and stuff, I capture videos from birth all the way till like now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And a lot of that's just so I can show them one day
yeah.
from my memories. But a lot of my videos I do is like Snapchat videos, like just funny ones, you know.
Oh
Like
yeah,
when
yeah,
my little one was like a baby, I'll put a filter on and like do a voiceover and just for
yeah,
crack up.
yeah, yeah.
But it was 2020. We were in lockdown. I was working in the school system,
Mm.
and my eldest daughter was like, "Oh, there's a new app called TikTok. Can I join the app?" And I was like, "Oh, let me download the app first and scope it out." So I downloaded it. Yeah, 2 weeks later, I was addicted to the app.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
just scrolling through it. But I started putting some of the videos that I had like prior to the app, and I started putting them on the app. And then they started getting like, views and stuff. And
Picking up.
because I
Yeah.
was working in the school, and so when I go to school, some of the kids at the school will be like, "Oh, Mister, we seen you on TikTok." And
Oh,
I was like, "Oh, shucks, this is getting around." And then that was it. Like I just kept posting. I just kept, especially TikTok was what we blew up on.
yeah,
That's my
yeah.
biggest platform right now.
Mm.
I just kept posting just skits that me and my family find funny.
Yeah, yeah,
Trends and like, dances and anything. Like if you follow my
yeah,
page, I don't have one niche. Well, family,
yeah,
it's family, but I do everything, man, from TikTok dances to food review to family skits.
yeah, yeah.
And then yeah, we just done that and it just started popping off and we're here now. It's crazy. Yeah, like yeah, man,
Man.
a lot of the time the amount of people that recognize us and like, say hi and like make a
Yeah,
big deal and I'm like, man,
yeah,
that's crazy. Not only that, it's put me in a position where I've been blessed with so many opportunities
yeah,
because of my platform.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Man. All right. So let's unpack this a little bit more. So you're saying, I heard you mention Snapchat.
yeah.
So were you on Snapchat before
Yeah,
TikTok, eh?
Snapchat. I was on Facebook and stuff, but
Oh
Snapchat
yeah.
was my go-to. Anyone that followed me on Snapchat back in the days, like 2017, 18, that's my real followers. All eight of you guys. Because like that, the reason why I love Snapchat is the camera is so easy. You just click on the app,
Yeah.
you can record, and then you double tap, and it flips the camera again. So like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
my go-to, like to make the little skits and stuff. Because
Yeah.
like I'll record my point of
Oh,
view, and then I'll tap it twice,
true.
and then it'll come to me, and I'll talk. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
immediately
yeah.
you just hit save and it saves to your phone. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like I still use it now.
Convenient, eh?
Yeah, it's really convenient. I still use it now for like little live skits with my girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than having to shoot twice, like record me and then record
Oh.
their point of view. I'll just do that camera and then I'll tap it twice and it turns.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
manual gimbal, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like what you said, like Snapchat, I know for me, because I was on it for a time as well. But it was the filters
Yeah,
that
there's
got
so many
me.
filters
So
on it.
many
Yeah.
filters. And man, they were really good because some of them look quite realistic too,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
Like they somehow like blended in with your skin tone
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. But yeah, I found that like when I went to other platforms, they started to have filters, but I kind of like Snapchat's one.
Yeah.
I think like
So
Snapchat's one's
Snapchat was
more.
like the OG, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were the ones that started the story
Stories,
thing,
that's right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was them and then IG picked it up and Facebook and I think
yeah,
TikTok does stories now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, so Snapchat is you were saying 2017, 2018.
Yeah, 2017,
Yeah,
2018.
probably into 2019 and then 2020 you
Yeah,
heard about TikTok.
TikTok.
So I'm just curious because you said your daughter came and asked you if she could jump on
Yeah.
that. Where did she hear about that?
School.
School.
She heard it from school.
So it must have started like going around
Yeah,
over there,
that's
eh?
when the
Becoming
app
a
was
thing.
starting. Yeah, because I know a lot of other, I guess, content creators and stuff, especially in the island community.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of them popped off around COVID as well.
Yeah,
And when you think about it, it's because everyone was in lockdown.
yeah,
There was nothing but your phone, and so like
Yeah.
that was the entertainment at the time.
yeah,
Eh?
100%. Yeah, and you're right, because like if there was a time that you wanted to
Yeah,
make a move on, like online,
that would have been the best.
that was the period, eh? That was the
Because
period.
everyone was on the phone.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And I remember that time, like, man, the restrictions were full on,
Yeah,
eh?
they're
Like,
full on.
I
Yeah,
remember going to work, and then my days started getting cut back. And then I think I ended up like maybe 1 day or 2 days a week.
yeah,
And the rest was at home.
just at home.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, because I was working in the school.
Yeah, yeah.
And then school got shut down. So, but we were home for like, I think a month and a half, or a month and 2 weeks.
Yeah. Just homeschooling as well.
Homeschooling, yeah. And because I was a counselor, so I was on call to kids.
school.
But, yeah, I was on call, but I didn't have like the teachers where I had to do like daily check-ins with the kids and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a lot of time on my hands, yeah. So I was
Yeah.
just popping out content with my kids at home.
Yeah.
Just making videos and stuff.
So no homework, no
homework,
schoolwork.
nothing. Oh, they probably had homework, but I was making content. Teachers like, why haven't you done your homework? My dad's teaching us a TikTok.
so when everything calmed down, they go back to
They
school.
go back and they're way behind. And I'll be like, oh, good, we got like 10,000 followers now.
Man.
Nah.
But yeah, it was good, because I know that lockdown time was quite tough for some people.
It
Eh?
was, yeah.
But it was really good to see like that type of thing, like the online presence from everybody. You know, there was all kinds of things going
There was
on.
everything, man.
Like even challenges, like, you know, I remember there was a time where there was like a transition
Yeah, I was just thinking of
challenge that
with
was just
Johnny
going,
and Terrell.
yeah, man, you know, and then all of a sudden everyone's shifting to that.
Yeah,
But yeah, if there was a time to go online,
That would have been
that
it.
would have been it. So you picked a good moment,
yeah.
good
It
time,
just happened and it was good.
and then the after roll of that to where you are now has just been a blessing
Bro,
from that
100%,
start.
man.
Hey, so with that there, when you were doing your TikTok stuff, did you start straight away with your girls? Did you bring them on and started doing your skits and stuff with them, or was it you by yourself first before you brought them on?
It was just a mixture of everything.
Oh yeah,
I never had that mindset to like, just me. I'm gonna grow this. I honestly didn't think that my page would grow like that.
Yeah.
And I never had that mindset, like, to build this page to like be a social media platform. I was like, oh, I'll just post funny videos. And then,
yeah.
so if I was scrolling through TikTok, or if an idea came to me that day of a content that just involved me, then I'll shoot it. And if it was something to involve my kids, then I'll ask the girls, oh, do you guys want to be in this video? Or do you guys want to do this dance?
Oh,
And
yeah.
if they're keen, then I'll shoot it and post it. Like, I never really had like a mindset where I'm like, I'm just going to start off this.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'll bring my family into it and we'll
Yeah.
do this. But just free flow, and it just went with that. Still is the case now.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yeah,
right,
it's just,
right.
yeah, man, just for laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty good. So it sounds like back then you were just doing it as would I be right in saying like a time filler, just to fill in time?
Yeah, that was basically
because there was
it.
so much
Yeah.
time, right?
My girls were very young at the time,
Mm.
apart from my oldest, but my 3 little ones, they were really young. And a lot of the videos we done was just for our entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do a video and then I'll post it, and me and the girls will watch it, and we thought it was the funniest thing. And
You'll watch it back.
Yeah, we'll watch it back. We're like, man, that's crack up. And then we'll post it, and then yeah, man, it started like getting the views, and people were watching it, and my wife would be like, "Oh my gosh, your video's like getting viral." But it never, to me, it was just like,
It was never the
Yeah,
intention.
it was never the intention.
Never the
I was like,
intention.
oh, that's cool, but like, it was just for us. Like,
Yeah.
we loved it.
Man, and I think that's the good thing about it, when you go in with that type of mindset.
100%, yeah.
Just for the sole purpose of like entertaining,
Yeah.
if not anyone, entertain yourselves and your
yourself,
girls, you know?
Yeah.
And then whatever happens along the way happens along the way,
yeah.
you know? But I also think with that there, because your girls were so young and you're doing this, you are installing a lot of confidence, I believe, in them.
Yeah.
Because they were probably more keen to do another one.
Oh, they were always keen.
You know, like ready and ready.
Yeah. But I learned the hard way. Well, not the hard way, but I learned very quick when we moved to Queensland that everything I do with the girls is in the comfort of our home, behind closed doors. They're confident behind. Like, we moved to Queensland in 2022.
Oh, so you started this in
Perth.
In Perth?
In Perth, yeah.
Oh,
and so, mind you, we were rural in Perth. We were like out in the bush.
Yeah.
So only the kids at school and stuff seen our TikTok.
Yeah.
But when I came to Brisbane, a community full of Pacific Islanders and stuff, and my videos were like circulating, we walked into the shops and people were like, "Yo, it's Havea."
Yeah.
And that caught me off guard. I was like, "Oh, shucks."
Yeah,
like, bro, we seen your videos, this. But it was a big eye opener for me when the girls started getting noticed. Very noticed, but like very closed off and very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I started to realize, I was like, man, these girls are reaching like millions of views, but in the comfort of our home. Then it's not like they're being themselves in front of a bunch of people. Well, they are being themselves, but all they see is the camera. They don't know that the amount of people they're reaching out. And so we went to, I think it was Pacific Day here in on North Brisbane. And it was like poly central, bro. And everyone was like coming up to Nia, my little one. Yeah. Because she's like the star of the show. Yeah. And she was crying. She was overwhelmed. She kept hiding behind my wife. Yeah. And I heard a comment from one of the ladies who was like, "Oh, that's not the vibe she gives off on like social media." And I had to sit back and I was like, bro, she's in our home. She's comfortable. Like, it's totally different when there's a bunch of people physically in front of her. Yeah.
And I think also, I think without you guys even realizing, you kind of build a bit of an expectation from the viewer as well. You know what I mean? Like they'll watch it and then they kind of just think, oh, that's how they were. And that's how they will be if I see them, you know? But they don't know, like they're humans too, you
100%,
know? But especially when you're young as, I know for sure if they went out like that and have random screaming their names, especially adults or teenagers, people who are like much older than them.
100%.
That can be, and
like it's us Pacific people, sometimes we forget boundaries, Because my wife is Palangi. And like us Pacific, you know, like you'll have an auntie that's never met you before. Or some islander lady and she sees that you're a little islander baby and she just feels she has the right to come and grab you and like hug you and squeeze you and stuff. And like people were doing that, like just running up, grabbing Nia and like, oh my gosh. And my wife was like, what the don't touch it. But like to me, it was like kind of normal because we went to Tonga. We went to Tonga when Nia was like still a baby and like I was at the markets. And my wife went to look at something and she came back and some lady's like holding Nia. And I'm like just doing the shopping and stuff and she's like, you know that lady? I was like, oh yeah, she's one of the market ladies. She just asked to hold Nia because Nia was chubby. And my wife was like, oh my gosh, get my daughter off her right now.
Man, but that's Tonga for you. They love the Sino kids, you know,
they love
like
the chubby ones.
They love it. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I bet that would have been a really, really tough time for you guys. Because like you said, like not expecting, not realizing that that's the effect you might have when you go out in public, So that would have been massive coming from. So you said you were in Perth. Was it a bit of a remote area?
Yeah,
like
we
there
were in
wasn't
a remote area.
Too much people around.
It was a small community, and like not many islanders as well. Yeah, true. And so I guess when we were there, it wasn't a big deal, but we were still growing our platform as well. Yeah. But even it still amazes me now. Like just to put things in context, I have 1.4 million followers on my TikTok. But to me, I still feel like it's not in a bad way. I feel like it's nothing. Like it doesn't. I'm not one to like sit with numbers. Yeah. So like when I walk in public and I expect islanders to know me. Yeah. But when I walk into public and I get like a middle age or like a senior citizen, like an old person, walk up and like, oh mate, Havea, and I'm like, whoa, like, mate, we follow you on this and this, and I'm like, oh shucks, and then it hits me that I'm like, bro, like you got a big community that watch your stuff, but like most of the time it's just like my mind is still like small in terms of my following. Yeah. So like I don't think that like we went to the States last year. That was a big eye opener for me, getting recognized in America.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, surely it's just Australia and New Zealand and the
Yeah,
islands.
yeah.
And then getting recognized in America, I was like, bro, just bring the limousine already, man. Pick me up. Roll out the red carpet already.
Man, take me. I'm ready to put my star
Where's
down
my
in
chopper at,
Hollywood.
man?
Oh man, yeah.
Crazy.
I think it was refreshing for me to hear you say about, like, how you have a big following, but I feel like what you're trying to say is you're still yourself.
Oh,
You know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got from that.
You
There.
can't fake that, bro. You can't.
Yeah,
Like, you know how you say people have the expectation.
yeah.
The vibe we bring on social media is the vibe I have in
In
reality.
life, yeah,
Because you can't fake it, eh? You
yeah,
can't
yeah,
fake it.
yeah.
If yeah, we're pretty like obviously there's skits and there's like little acting in our videos and stuff. But the vibe I give off on my platform is a lot of people will get shocked when they meet me in person. Like, I've
Yeah.
met you today,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
love to chat, and I'm chatting with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Because some people come up and be like, "Oh, can I grab a photo?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah," and I grab a photo and be like, "Oh, what are you up to?" And start chatting, and they're like, "Oh, I wasn't prepared for this conversation. I just wanted a photo." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sweet."
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man, it's hard to fake, eh?
Yeah. And I think everyone is different.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's different. And in saying that though as well, I think that there might be even times where you're maybe not in the mood as well when you're out
Oh,
in public to
100%.
chat.
Yeah, to chat,
You're
yeah.
just maybe just out in the shops to get milk and bread and go
Yeah, just
home.
to eat again. Yeah.
So that side there just goes to show, like, we're still human.
Yeah.
You know, you're still
yeah,
human.
we are.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, like, I think I'm just curious, like, which video kind of went off first for you in TikTok? If we're going right to the very beginning,
But if
what
we're
was the
going
one that you?
right to the start? It was a video of me and Nia,
Yeah.
and it was a TikTok sound. It's like that sound that goes. I think it's T-Pain's song that goes dun 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 dun, and then the beat drops and like I forgot the lyrics of the song, but it was a video.
I know
like
that beat. I'm
yeah.
just trying to think of.
So the beat, we done that video, but like me and Nia were opening the.
Oh, Usher. Yeah.
Oh, it's Usher. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Usher.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
not
yeah.
T-Pain. Yeah, I thought it was T-Pain.
Yeah.
We were doing that video, but at the start of the sound, we were like opening the oven because you know how it sounds.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that sound sounds like the oven.
Yeah.
Opening.
Yeah.
So we were opening that, and then when the beat dropped, like me and Nia were just like dancing.
Oh, yeah.
That
And
was the first
that was the
video. I
one.
think it hit like 500,000 views.
Yeah. How quick?
I think in 2 days.
Wow.
Because I only knew that when I started going to school and the kids were like, "Mister, you going viral?" And I think there was a news, one of those news pages that like share your stuff. These are guys that like use it as clickbait and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what it's
News.
called. What
So
would
they're
you
on
say,
TV
news?
or
Nah,
news
not
on
on TV. They're on social media. They have like certain pages that like just share your stuff, but
Okay.
they'll add like a different caption or something,
Yeah.
just for people to click on it and like get views.
Oh, so
On
like
their
clickbait
page.
type
Yeah,
of thing.
it's literally clickbait.
Yeah.
But
And then
a lot of them were using
True.
that video, and so the kids were like, "Oh, Mister, your video's gone viral," and then we were like, "Oh, cool." But to me, it was just views. Like it's not putting. 500,000 in my bank account would have
That
been
would be
nice.
good, eh? Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh, yeah, sweet as."
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
our first video that like went viral.
Yeah. And that's fast. 2 days.
Yeah, 2
To
days
get
it
to
hit
that type of
500K.
figure, man, that's really, really quick. So the kids were telling you this at school. Did you
Yeah,
go home and
kids
show
were-
Nia?
Oh, she was too young
she
to
already
understand.
knew- oh,
Actually,
too-
bro, it was. I think my wife was the one. I was telling my wife, like, "Oh, damn, look, we blew up
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this."
yeah.
And then that was it, man.
That
Like,
was the one, eh?
Yeah, like that. But it wasn't. Even till now, like some of the videos still blow up. But I look at, I'm like, oh man, it's cool.
Yeah.
The thing that sits with me is like when, like we were on the Today Show, when things like that happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's viral.
Yeah.
I'll call that viral.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
crazy.
we'll get to that one, eh?
Yeah.
Because I remember watching that one. Wow, that one was crazy. But oh, nice. When the kids were coming to you, so it sounds like when they came and told you this, you weren't aware of this
Nah.
at that time.
No, I didn't even know the views, like what. I didn't know what views, but even what viral meant.
Oh yeah.
Because before TikTok, I was on Facebook,
Yeah.
just my normal family page, and like the word viral didn't really. I was barely on YouTube or anything, so the word viral was like nothing to me.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, I've seen that video before,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
people are like, oh, that's viral, and I'm like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
fuss,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So when the kids were coming to me, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Man, um, I think like, because I'm just going a little bit off topic here, but I had a similar chat with my wife
Yeah.
on one of her videos that kind of caught the algorithm.
Yeah.
And she said the same thing like you. She
Yeah.
said, man, it felt cool.
Yeah.
Like she's just like, it's just unreal because it's just a normal video, you
Yeah.
know? And I think in this sense, you're doing normal skits like as you normally would.
Yeah.
It just happened to catch on and then
Yeah.
go off
Just
like
go
that.
off, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah, she described the same thing to me. She just said, man, that was a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it didn't change her.
Yeah.
She still carried on doing her
Carried on
normal,
doing it, yeah.
go filming the fitness. Like yourself, you go and you just carry on, do more
Yeah,
skits and all of that
100%,
stuff.
yeah.
So this is back in WA. Then you guys came to Queensland. Obviously, to this day, still doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The girls are 2 years older, 3 years older
Yeah,
from
2 years,
that
3 years
time,
older,
eh? Yeah. So since then till now, and with what you're saying with your girls, how they are in public, has much changed in that sense there? Are they a little bit more comfortable out in public or still?
Nia, the youngest, she's
Yeah.
still the same.
Oh, yeah.
She's still very shy. If people stop us to get a photo, she won't take a photo unless my wife is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she'll grab my wife, or if she's in a good mood.
Yeah.
So anyone watching, if you want to grab a photo, make sure we just had lunch or something.
Gotta warm her up, eh?
As soon as she's like done eating or something like that, and she's in a good mood, people pop in. She's like, oh yeah. But she also reads. I don't know. She just. I always. You know how they say babies like can read energy and like
Yeah.
even dogs can see like feel the energy of the
Yeah,
person
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
She's the same
Same,
way. Like
true.
people will come up to her and she's like open and bubbly and stuff, and then you get people that come up and she'll just be like, nah, I don't want a photo.
Yeah.
Or she'll like grab my wife immediately and hold on to my wife.
Yeah.
But the other two, bro, they're they're cool. They're all good. Like, oh, sweet.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good. In that sense, there obviously you still like I guess as parents, you still kind of like
Intervene and
yeah, and make sure that the people understand, right?
oh yeah,
like when
I
they-
never force.
Yeah.
So if they ask for a photo of Nia and I ask Nia and Nia says no, I'm like, sorry guys, she's not
apologize.
keen.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can grab a photo of me, but if the kids don't want to grab a photo, then they
Yeah.
won't. And people respect it. They're pretty good.
Yeah, and that's good. I think that's nice that you bring it across and make sure,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, sorry, but you can do this.
Yeah,
You know, just a
yeah.
little alternative.
Not just the full on like, nah, G.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, that's so nice for me to see, because I love seeing family stuff as well. I like seeing things on my social media feeds that are different from the normal. But I love family stuff because I have a family. So I always think of it in that sense, you know. For yourself, I'm just curious to know, like, do you feel that since you've been doing this with your girls, do you feel like your relationship has also been strengthened and gotten better because of this?
Yeah, that's yes. In a way, yes, because of like I'm grateful for the platform I have that I'm able to showcase. Not that I'm trying to do it for show entertainment, but I'm able to showcase what kind of dad I am.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of messages from other dads and like, bro, like, you know, we love your relationship with your girls and like the kind of father you are, because I'm a girl dad as well.
Yeah.
And like if you watch my content, it's everything from like funny to like heartwarming to, you know, you'll catch some of my videos where my dad voice is on. And so like it's been an opportunity for me to bond with my girls.
Yeah.
But not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but like I've always been a show up dad. Because my girls have been like the best thing that's happened to me.
Yeah.
And even if the cameras were on or if the platform was there or not, what I do with my girls and putting them first and like showing up for them, that's always going to be priority for me.
Yeah. That's nice that you have that effect as well on other fathers.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah. Because I think from and I think you probably understand, like our upbringing, we didn't have this type of social media examples.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think back then social media was probably around, just not as big,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. You know, I think this time around, like if you use it in that sense to inspire and encourage, especially encourage another father, that you can be like this with your kids as
Yeah.
well, and you don't be scared of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because for myself, I have two boys and I have two girls.
Yeah.
But my wife has told me from the very beginning that when my girls came along, she felt like I changed for the better,
Yeah.
like really good. I maybe at that time I didn't realize. I
Yeah.
didn't realize like how I was to the boys. But then when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, I think I was just a bit relaxed, because in my mind I'm like, boys are boys.
Yeah.
They'll be
Yeah.
okay. But when the girls came along, it's man, like a protective side kind of unlocked in
Yeah.
me. Yeah. Like one of the things I can remember when I held my oldest girl in my hands when she was born, my mind it went to the future.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I kind of thought of some of the worst things,
Yeah.
if she was mistreated, like
Yeah.
all of that. I think because I went there, that's when that sense of being
Protection.
a protector
Yeah.
and being an example, a role model of a man for her kicked into
Kicked in,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. And so through the years, because she's 8 now, so through the years, like she stays by me a lot. Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. So I can only imagine, like, because mine is obviously just here at home, but yours is online presence.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine the type of messages you get from
Yeah.
fathers,
Oh, man, it's crazy, yeah.
especially ones that because I think a lot of it stems back to their own upbringing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're showing this type of upbringing style, and
Yeah.
this time, it's, if they weren't brought up in that way, it can be very,
Very different. Yeah.
Very, very different.
100%.
So I know this might be just in the moment, but I was just wondering, is there one particular father or story or message that you got from a father that kind of really hit you deeper than all the other messages you get from fathers?
I can't pinpoint one, but I get a few dads like on their way to being a dad. So their partner or their wife is like about to give birth.
True.
And then I'll get a message and be like, bro, I'm not a dad yet. I'm gonna be a dad like in a few weeks. But like just watching the way you're raising your girls and the relationship you have with your girls, it inspired me to be that kind of dad.
Yeah.
And that always hits home for me because I'm not posting my stuff to like inspire people. I'm just posting it because that's me. Do you know what I mean? I'm just posting it for the world to see, like my family. It's a content, and for people to see the soft father, I guess, or the genuine side of me with being with my girls, and for them to feel some kind of way and feel like they're inspired. Bro, that hits home, eh? So when I get messages like that, especially from the young dads, it hits home. Another thing I also get is like messages from like people who were like, oh man, I didn't have a great relationship with my dad.
Yeah.
I wish I had that relationship with my dad like that. And yeah, it makes me rethink, and I'm like, oh, people think that like, my girls are blessed to have a dad like me, but if only people knew that the reason why I'm a great dad like this is because these girls bring the greatness out of me. Like they make me want to be the best dad. They make me want to show up. They make me want to make the memories. It goes both ways, eh?
Yeah. And that's good to hear. That's really good to hear, because I was going to say maybe some of the upbringings from other parents, especially with dads, because I think they can maybe think back to their relationship with their own dads, and maybe some were a bit distant. You know what I mean? But to see you have that closeness with your girls, because in saying that, we went through what we went through. You know what I mean? Regardless how our parents raised us, I believe they did the best that they can at that time. And with what they knew, right? But then we can take those lessons or the good that we got from them, and we can use it. We can use it in our time now that we're becoming parents or our parents at
Yeah.
this time, you know.
100.
I think that that's an important mindset for a lot of people to have, is that you don't have to relive that same circle.
Yeah.
You can change it, you
Yeah.
know.
You can.
Yeah, you can 100% change it. It just takes a little bit of courage sometimes. And if you've been raised in a community or within a family where they've kind of nailed it into you, like, this is the way,
This is the way.
this is the way, this is the only
Yeah.
way, that's gonna require a lot of courage
Yeah.
for you to break that.
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
cycle,
Because one day, when you're with your family, one day you're gonna leave them and start your own. That's how life goes right
Yeah,
now. You know,
100%.
one day you're gonna have to leave and start your own. But that's where everything can also change. Is when you start your own, you can then make your own
Make
choices.
your own choices.
Yeah, and I can speak for myself, and probably you as well. You'll agree on this. Is like sometimes we don't make the right choice.
Nah,
still,
man. Yeah.
still, you know,
You still live and learn.
yeah, we still make mistakes, like even to this day.
Yeah, 100.
But like the mindset, if you just drop your pride a little bit, it can help you. It allows yourself to understand the mistake and then
Yeah.
change it and then go
Go
forward.
for the- I like what you said about you know, our parents just that was their best they gave us, and like we can take what works and make it work for you, and you can take what didn't work and make it learn for you. Like I'm a massive advocate on that. Like everyone's got something to offer, and you can learn from everything. So it's like, yes, whatever you give me, I'll take the best from that, and the worst, I'll use that as a learning point as well for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You never get it right, man. You just
Yeah.
learn along the way, and you just keep chipping away.
Yeah. Because one thing, I'm just thinking, I just thought of it now when we're talking is, and me and you, so before this, we were talking, we're both the oldest in our families, right? And I know for me, when I was growing up, you know, I feel like I was the test child for my parents, you know. And then I look at my younger sister and my younger brother, and I'm like, you know what? These are lucky, man. I had to go through the test period, all of this with my mom and dad, and then you guys are born, and it's just like, you know, no more parties, like you know, it changed like dramatically for them. Because I don't forget those things what I went through, but it's just a funny way for me to look at it, you know.
Yeah.
Fast track that to now when I had my own family, and my dad, my mom and my dad, especially my dad, when he came over to see them, man, the way he like treated my kids, in my mind, I was like,
where was this?
I was like, where was that for me? Like, you know,
you really gonna stop at McDonald's for these kids?
Man, the man brought over like a car seat. He brought over like all kinds of things for my kids when they were born here. And I was like, money, I couldn't even get a bike from you. Like,
that's crazy,
you know. But in all honesty, for me to see my parents treat my kids like that, I felt heaps of love from them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
I felt like that was enough for me to be like, oh, they love me because they're showing it like this to my kids, you know? So yeah, we're just kind of varying off a little bit there to our own experience right now.
It's crazy because I seen a Instagram post. Damn, it's making me emotional, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, though.
Nah, all good. Take your time.
Rick, didn't mean to get it like this, eh? No, because I dropped my kids off to my parents this morning.
Yeah.
Damn. Sorry, bro.
Nah, all good. Take your time.
No, just us talking about grandparents. Just just brought some emotions out. But like when you're talking about that, I remember a post I seen on Insta, and it said the reason why your grandparents spoil your kids is like that's like the second chance to get it right. Oh. So I was like, oh shucks,
man.
And it I guess it brings back to what we were talking about.
Yeah,
we can never get it right, eh? So like, I think I would never know until I have grandkids. and it's like my chance to get it right. So like, sorry, bro.
Nah, that's good.
Like you mentioned, your dad bringing like all the love and all that.
Yeah,
It's probably in the sense, it's like, man, this is my second opportunity
yeah.
to do this right. Yeah,
Man, I never thought of that either.
yeah.
That's man, that one hits.
You mentioned that, and I started thinking about my parents, because my parents are the same, man.
Mm,
They do everything for my kids, and
yeah.
like a lot of the times, I'm like, wow, like where the hell was this when I was
Yeah.
growing up? But then, yeah, when I don't know what we were chatting about, and then I thought back to that post, and I was like, man, that really hit now.
Yeah.
You know, like that's them doing everything for you, for your grandkids, for the kids, as like I guess in the sense of like I wish I could do this to you at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That just gave another perspective for
perspective.
me,
Yeah.
big time. Because in all honesty, I'd rather see them love my kids.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If that was me back then,
Yeah.
oh good. But because you put it in that sense, I'm like, man, maybe yeah.
Yeah.
I truly believe too.
Yeah.
Because yeah, just see my father being around them, engage with them, and when and it's for hours too,
Yeah.
for long. I remember one time, like when my dad was here, he took one of my oldest boy that was born at that time. He was here and he went for a walk. He just said to my wife, "I'm gonna go for a walk with him." He went for a long ass walk, came back, and then my son was sick the next day. We took him to hospital. But like like he's all good now. But
Yeah.
I think for him, I really like now that you said that, I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I think him taking his son around, like my son around at that time, could be in his mind at that time. Like, this is him. If he had wished, if he did that for me, that
Yeah.
would have been awesome. But
Yeah.
he's doing it to him. That's enough
It's a
for
way,
me.
yeah.
That's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
Just to see him do that,
Yeah.
like, man. But that's a really, really, really good perspective that you brought. That
Yeah, man, it's
that
crazy
one,
because like
that one hits.
ever since my dad moved to Queensland, he's they just moved over from Perth as well. But he's never missed any of my girls' rugby game. And I used to sit there and be like, bro, I used to get dropped off to the game and then I'll pick you up after. And like just seeing him and like always on the sideline, so happy and stuff. And then when I remember reading that quote, I was like, man, maybe this is in his sense, like, like, oh, I could have done this right at that time. And I always think to myself, like, maybe when I become a granddad, maybe I'll be doing things with my grandkids, some things that I wish I'd done with my girls.
Yeah.
And I think it's a blessing, bro, because it is a second chance. You get to do things right.
Yeah. And with our parents, like, especially with the fathers, they're more internal. Like, like that's probably exactly what's going on in their
100,
mind. But they just keep it inside to them,
They don't know how to show it or
exactly.
express it,
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's just their era. That was their generation. But if now that you brought that up, because man, that one is beautiful.
Yeah, that hit deep,
like,
man. Sorry, but I didn't mean
to. It's good.
Yo.
It took me back to every instant that I can remember that my parents, like, did for my kids when they were here. Like, especially my dad, So, yeah, man, what a quote. That was that was a good part to talk about, man. But yeah, like you said, one day, your girls will grow up, and then you'll start to have grandkids. But man, if you're like this to your girls now, man, you'll be tenfold, hundredfold to your
They'll make me extra broke. If I'm broke right now, I'll be double broke.
But I think this stems back to the very core of how important memories are.
Bro, 100.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we can have all the money in the world, we can have like the best job in the world, but if that's not creating memories for you, and
then what's the
exactly, then what's the purpose?
Yeah, 100%.
Because I know for me, that's all that's left with me when my father passed on. It's just my memories. I wish I had more, but I have enough. I have enough to like take me on.
To cherish,
Yeah. And so you having these with the girls, like, it's beautiful to see. Just I was just wondering, like, with the social media stuff that's been happening with you and the girls, especially with TikTok, have you had like any certain chats where it's just you and them, not being filmed or anything,
Yeah. Oh.
and just getting like maybe their perspective on how they feel in this time of being on TikTok and that. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever gotten feedback from them just to,
We
you know, understand where they're at and see if they're okay?
we have it all the time. And so just to bring things in context, my eldest, she's turning 19 this year. She's
Oh,
rarely
yeah?
in my videos
Yeah.
because she's the one that got me on TikTok.
Yeah.
But she's not in my videos
Just started
because
you off and
she's
then-
at that age like, you know, the camera comes in the face, she's like, nah. And she
Oh.
knows like my platform and like how big it is.
Yeah.
So like she doesn't want that. She's not wanting to be like in my videos and stuff like that. But the three little ones, all the time, man, we always have chats. I never well, if it's like a paid collaboration that I have to do and they're needed in it, I wouldn't say force, but I like and I wouldn't say bribe, but it's a negotiation with them. Like, oh look, we have to do this deal, and I need you girls to do this for me. And we're like, but it's the business conversation. Like,
Oh,
I'll talk, set their expectation, tell them my expectation, and it's good. But like for the funny videos and stuff, it's always just I'm gonna do this video. If you guys are keen, do you guys want to be in it? And if they're keen, then sweet. If not, then I'll be like, I'll wait till they have ice cream or something. And then I'll be like, do you want to be in the video? But we always have chats. I always, because they're known at school as well and stuff like that too. So I always like check in with them. Like, are you guys okay? Like, are you guys okay that I post this? Are you guys okay? Like, you know, that we're known, or especially if we're going out in public. We have the chats, like, there's gonna be people that's gonna say hi and stuff. If you're not comfortable, just mommy and daddy's there, like,
that's good.
just let us know, and I'll stop it, or like I'll tell people, oh, they don't want photos. So yeah, the short answer is yes, man. We always have conversations. I always make sure, because like you said, none of that matters if they're not okay, and if they're not happy doing it, or then I wouldn't put it on camera.
Yeah. And I think that's important, just to reassure them that, like, you are still there, regardless, on or off
100%.
camera, you're still there.
there.
You're still the dad for them, still the mum for them. Because I think that's very important, just to install that into them, and they can see that the genuine side is still there. You still care for them.
Man, I'm a big advocate for letting them know that, like, the platform, the opportunities, all of that is second. It's my role as a dad is first. Their security, their safety, the fact that they need to know that they're loved, all of that comes first before everything else. Because now that our social media has turned into like kind of a business aspect, all of that is mainly based off them. It's like you said, it's the memories you want to create, and so like now I'm giving opportunities to make some money to create more memories with them. But if they're not good, then what's the point? So, man, it's always them first.
So we'll fast track a little bit to that morning show one that you're talking about. So I I had a good laugh myself when I watched that one, because it was just like, man, the girls, I just felt like I saw like this protective side of them. So you were just out, just taking a normal walk, right?
We were going walks because I do my vlogs. So I was vlogging. And I was like, oh yeah, just but we just walked past this girl. And I say hi to everyone on the street. I was like, hey, how's it going? And they're more intimidated when I say hi to like pretty girls, So this girl, obviously she was a beautiful woman, she just walked past it, and I was like, hey, how's it going? And they went and stopped in the front, and I started to vlog, and I was like, what's up, fam? It's just with my crew going for my walk, because I'm doing vlogs on YouTube. And I turned it to them, and I was expecting them to be like, hey, fat dad, dad. As soon as I turned the camera to them, they're like, who's that? Who's that? And then they started mocking the way I was saying it. They're like, hey, how's it going? And then my little one's like, I'm telling mommy when we get home. And I thought it was funny, so I posted it, but I had no intention that it was gonna like go viral.
And I think that those are the best ones. You know what I mean? The ones where you like, it's just within the moment, with no expectation attached. You know, just putting it out there, and they just go.
It just goes.
So when that one caught like the internet, was it the next day the morning show called you?
No,
or like
no.
How?
That was later. Like that was like a few months later. This happened, I think in April, and they just called me like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh,
But
okay.
I knew that video was viral because when I posted it and I woke up the next morning, it was already on 2 million views.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I was like,
So
oh,
you know it's
yeah.
caught. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know it was gonna like
Long,
make
long
the
caught.
morning
Yeah.
show, but I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a viral one.
Yeah.
And then I just left it at that, and then it kind of died down, and then big pages started sharing it,
Mm.
and then I think that's how it made its way to the morning show. Yeah.
Oh, right. And so for them, like, did they email you to let you know? How did that one?
I got tagged on Insta story, and someone was like, "Bro, you're on TV," and I was like, I clicked on so they were watching TV at their house,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
recorded it, and I clicked on the story, and then I was just like, "Oh, well, that's crazy, man. LOL." And then I went through my request messages, and I seen morning show message, and they're like, "Hey, we just put a snippet of your video, but we were hoping we can interview you like in 15 minutes." And I
Oh,
just woke
true.
up, and so I was like, "Ah, yeah, sweet." Put the phone up,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then I
yeah.
just ran with that. If you see the video, they opened it up because they didn't have time to like chat and get to know me or anything,
Just
and so yeah,
straight
just
into it.
straight into the that. So
Yeah.
when I showed up, the guy goes, "Carl." He goes, "Yeah, this Kiwi dad, bro, that put so much uproar with especially the Tongan thing. Like, he's not Kiwi." They got all upset. They're like,
Yeah.
"He's Tongan." I was like, "Bro, it's all good, man. At the
So,
end of the
yeah.
day, we're all islanders,
Yeah,
man."
yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, "Oh, this Kiwi dad's video went viral." Yeah, so we went straight into
Oh,
the
straight into the
interview, bro. I
interview.
just literally just woke up, brushed my teeth, and then sat in front of the camera. I was like, "Damn."
Just chuck on a shirt. Hey, who
I just
cares?
chucked on a hoodie and I sat there.
Okay.
And it's funny because I sat there 5 minutes before going on,
Yeah.
and I guess the camera crew or whatever,
Yeah.
the guy is on FaceTime, and I was sitting there, and he's like, "Bro, just between us, you got a bit of like pillow fluff on your beard, eh?" And I had this white ball of fluff. I was like, "Oh shucks, bro, my bad, thanks, man." And then I jumped on the interview. I was like, "Money, that would have been so bad if."
Man.
I was like, "Bro, national TV." My manager called, made me pressure too because they found out I was jumping on,
Oh, yeah.
and then they called and they're like, "Oh, maybe don't take the opportunity. We don't want the TV to like ask you questions and you say something wrong."
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh,
And this is all in the moment.
yeah, all in the moment,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
like 2 minutes
Like within
before,
minutes.
yeah."
Yeah, yeah.
And then she's like, ask them for another date, and I was like, "No, they want to do like a live interview," because she thought it
Oh,
was like inviting me for the segment,
yes,
and I
yes.
was like, "Nah, they want to do like a live interview," and then she's like, "All right, then just keep it general. Don't say too much. Don't say too less. Because TV has its way of flipping things as well."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's good that your manager was
Yeah,
curious
I
of
was
that,
grateful for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when she hung up, I was like, far out. I wasn't nervous, but now I'm hella nervous. But then, yeah, I jumped on. It was just general questions.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing I kept telling myself was like, bro, just be yourself. Just
Yeah,
answer just the
yeah.
way you answer.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
yeah, that was crazy, man, because like everyone started messaging. Like one of the boys went to the gym.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
just
yeah,
training.
yeah.
And he seen me on TV and he was like, bro, because I watch your videos so much on TikTok and Instagram, I thought that was TikTok just playing. And then he's like, wait, hold up, this is the news, bro. And everyone's like messaging, bro, you. It's funny, the funniest messages I get is like, bro, you made it. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
quit now. And I was like, sorry. How many people knew I logged off that and straight into my 9 to 5?
See, like sometimes that's the mindset, though.
Yeah,
Way
it's-
like with general people, like
You're
you
on
made
big
it,
screen,
but
yeah.
that's it, though. Like it just stops there.
Yeah,
There's no money coming in.
That's the
you
same
know what I
mentality
mean?
they have with the views, man.
Yeah.
People are like, bro, you cracked it with the views. I'm like, that's awesome, but like, it's not putting bread on the table.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, yeah. There's still work to be
Yeah,
done.
there's still work
right?
to be done,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So what an experience.
Oh,
Man, what an experience.
yeah, man.
Far out. Far.
National TV.
So from that one there, because that was just out walking in the public. That's your normal thing you
Yeah.
do, like when you get the chance, right, with your
Yeah.
girls. And the girls, they still go to school and that, right?
Yeah, they still go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty known at school.
Yeah. And how do they take that? Like, do you talk with them about that? Like
Yeah,
how
I
school
have a
is?
lot of chats with them because, well, the first thing I was mentioning to them was like, do not let that get to your head, which
Yeah.
is good. My girls, I wouldn't say humble, but they don't. I guess they don't realize like how much of a platform they have,
Yeah.
bro. Because teachers and everyone make a big deal to them.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, these are celebrities of our
Yeah.
school, and they just giggle about it and whatever.
Yeah.
But my 10-year-old, it's starting to affect like her circle of friends and stuff. Like,
Oh.
I've walked her to school and I've walked in, and like some of the older girls, the seniors, will be like, "Oh my gosh, hey Nini," and
Yeah.
start talking to her. And then when they leave, then Nini will be like, "Those girls are so mean to me. They don't say hi. The only
Yeah.
reason why they're saying hi is because they seen you."
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, don't. I'll tell her like, I'm glad you can see fake, and
Yeah.
like and that's good on you.
Yeah.
But don't, if they're being nice to you, say hi and stuff.
Yeah.
But just be like, yeah, you're not in my circle, so that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
And I think it's good to make, like, because like you said, you're happy that they're aware of that,
Yeah.
And I think, because some of us, like, you only realize that a little bit later on in
Yeah.
life, but in this instance, it's a bit different because,
Yeah.
they're very young, they still
Yeah.
go to school. And I like the fact that you ground them still. Like,
Yeah,
just remind
100%.
them,
Yeah. I tell my girls, especially my 10-year-old and my 8-year-old, because they can understand.
Yeah.
The 6-year-old Nia, who's probably the star of the show, but her friends don't really understand like the concept.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the 10-year-old, like especially her circle of peers,
Yeah.
they understand like viral. They understand like
Yeah.
TikTok celebrities. But I always tell my girls, if your mates are talking more about me and like our videos half of the time,
Yeah.
there's a high chance they're not your mate. Like don't
Yeah.
be nice to them, be respectful, but I wouldn't rely on them to show up to your birthday party or something like that. They're
Yeah.
just actually they will show up if I'm gonna be there. But yeah, because
Yeah.
she went to one of the birthdays and I was like, "Are we buying a gift?"
Mm.
And then she's like, "Oh no, he just asked if you can come and say what's up to him and stuff." And I was like, I get paid for that. So yeah, I always have to remind them.
That's
and
good.
Just let them know like, I'm sorry that we have a platform where like we're on social media and stuff, but find you some genuine friends, like circle of friends that don't care about like what you bring on like social media.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's gonna stick with them because later on in life,
Yeah.
if they get older, they'll
Yeah.
start to understand it more because it's it's something you've highlighted at such a young stage in their life, But that's really nice to hear. That's really nice to hear. I'm just cracking up because for Nia, it's just like it's a
she's
normal
just
day
whatever,
going to school.
It's just another day, but her teachers make a big deal. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Nia, we seen your TikTok that went viral the other day." And she's like, "Is it lunchtime yet?"
That's all she cares about. If anything, she should use it to her advantage and be like, "Oh, do I get longer lunch
She
now?"
always pulls the card like she's always telling her sisters like, "You guys not famous. It's just me." Like, because every time we go out in public, everyone they either react to me or they react to Nia. They'll either see me and be like, "Oh my gosh, where's Nia?" Or they'll see my wife and be like, "Where's Havea?" And so like Nia knows like she's the star of the show. And so when she gets angry and she tells her sisters like, "You guys aren't even like famous like me."
Well, you know what? I guess she can earn that.
She can.
She can earn that one. That's cool. See, and I think that's those are the memories you want to keep as well. The ones that just happen randomly and off camera, because when they get the chance, of course they're gonna play that card, right?
Oh, 100%.
If it wasn't for me, then you wouldn't be, Shout out to Nia, man. Oh my gosh. Oh, funny girl, man. That's a character. Man, I guess if you don't mind, like I just wanna ask a question on like maybe what's one of the maybe the struggles you might have had or experienced with your online presence? And if it's not a struggle, maybe one of the lessons that you've probably taken on and you're like, oh.
One of the things that's always like stuck with me since having this platform was an incident that happened, and I'm sure some people familiar, especially the ones that follow me, was an incident that happened online with these boys in Sydney that done a video for my little one.
Yeah.
And the big eye opener for me, the thing that hit me was my effect on social media.
Yeah.
Because I had at that time I still had a decent following and stuff, and I jumped online and just reacted as a dad would.
Yeah.
And I made some threats online. I was like, "Bro, like we'll find you," and like I tell everyone that I've talked about this that they were empty threats. Like I had in my head, I was just going off anger. I was like I was hoping they were in Brisbane, and I ran into them, and young boys just
Yeah.
But I never knew how much of an influence I had on social media, because the moment I jumped on and put that video up, boom,
Yeah.
it went viral. So many people in my DMs. So I got like the address like in the next 3 minutes from 3 different people.
Oh,
The
really?
school, the gym they go to.
Really?
Yeah, and it was really
Holy.
bad because I had to jump on Facebook call with the one of the parents of
Yeah.
the boys,
Yeah.
because they're like, this random's throwing rocks at my house.
Yeah.
There's people online, they know my address, they're threatening to come burn down the house. Like, she was crying, she's like, I have a freaking 2-month-old baby in the house. Like,
Yeah.
I know what my son has done is pretty stupid, but like
Mm.
when all of that was coming to me, I was like, oh, shucks.
Yeah.
Like, I know people follow me and stuff, but I didn't think people would like ride or die for me like that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
shucks.
Yeah.
But then I had to delete the video because I was like, oh, first thing, delete all the evidence online.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
took that video down. And it didn't help because like
Yeah.
Lisi, like all the the people that
Yeah.
follow us, and because it was targeted at Nia, and like Nia on my platform, Nia's the baby, is
Yeah.
everyone's baby.
Yeah.
So
So it
people
hits a
go
lot
hit
for.
different, yeah. Like Lisi done a video, and then freaking, I guess every single essay in Sydney like
Yeah.
wanted to like chase these kids. But the
Man.
big thing I learned from that was one, never air out my dirty laundry on social media. But two, like, that was a moment of realization to me that like not only did I have a following, I had a community.
Yeah.
Like, I had a
Yeah.
community that like would, I guess, ride or die. But like it
Yeah.
made me realize, like, I was so grateful that I had people like
Yeah.
that. But at the same time, I was like, I need to be careful what I put up on socials.
Yes. Yeah.
I need to be careful what I vent about. I need to be careful like who I talk bad about on social media, because sometimes you don't have the intention of fully damaging someone. Like, even little things, like I try to be considerate of. If I go and eat at a restaurant and I don't really like it,
Yeah.
I don't give like a full honest, because I'm not a food reviewer or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I would like to share my experience, but I wouldn't like run them down fully,
Yeah.
because you never know like the power you have
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the struggles, man. That was
Yeah.
like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I remember that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because it was getting shared around like
Right, yeah.
real quick. But yeah, I remember that one. And I appreciate that you actually touched on this, because I think this is relatable to a lot of people in that kind of caliber as well.
Yeah.
You know, like the power that's behind social media. You can
Yeah.
use it for good, but also you can use it for bad.
Bad, 100%.
Like, that's why the word influencer is not
Yeah.
really it's lost its meaning because of for that very thing,
Yeah.
you know?
You got people that are so easily influenced.
Yeah. I think in that moment it would have been very difficult for you because the cloud is thick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it really struck a nerve.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Struck a nerve.
Yeah.
So what you did, I feel any father would do that. Any father would do that. Like, vent
Just
it out.
react that way,
It's
yeah.
just you had a you had a status as
Yeah.
well, you know.
Yeah.
But man, for you to get it that quick, like that
Bro.
info, oh my gosh, like that's quick, eh?
Bro, as soon as I started getting that, I was like, wait, hold up. I was
Yeah.
like, because people were like, well, I'll catch them at school.
Yeah.
Saying some pretty bad stuff too. And I was like,
yeah.
oh, I was just hoping my cousin would run into them and slap them on the ear, but no, freaking stomped their head in. I was like, oh, nah.
Yeah.
Told my wife, I was like, I think I bit off more than I can chew. Eh?
Yeah. But see, the fact that you recognized it, and then you addressed it, readdressed it, and then you put it all aside. That takes a lot of courage to do that as well.
Oh.
You know, like
I think it was fear at the time.
yeah, for sure, man. But you got a bit emotional, I think, as well. You
Yeah.
know, because I think you then put yourself in the parents' shoes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, because
yeah.
for them to reach out to you, it's an instant connection. You
Yeah.
know, from a parent to a parent. You're like, oh,
Yeah, that hit
Re-
different
you-
when
yeah.
I had two parents reach out, so that hit very different. That was
Yeah.
like I was like, bro, like I'm already trying to put out the fire, but when you guys reached out, that was another
yeah,
confirmation. You know, like it was a reminder to me that these are kids.
Yeah.
Kids will do stupid things online.
Exactly. Yeah. But like I said before, like in the moment, it's
It's
you
just,
can't,
yeah.
you forget
Off
all of
emotions,
that. Just
yeah.
tunnel vision straight from that,
100%,
right?
man. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good example.
Yeah.
Just to highlight the power of what your platform can have. But yeah, I've actually forgot about that. I
Yeah,
was
man. Oh, thankfully,
yeah.
that's only been the struggle. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, our social media's vibes and good energy,
Yeah.
but you would know, like, behind camera, like, we have our own family stuff.
Yeah.
I don't portray everything, but we have our own uphill battles and stuff that we
Yeah.
deal with and stuff. But I'm like, what I put on social is good vibes, good energy, and that's that. I'm not saying that we live like the best life in the world,
Yeah.
like, but that's just the life that I choose to put on social.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything else that goes on behind cameras, that's no one's business. It's just me and my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
But
100%.
if to your question, yeah, that was probably one of the biggest struggles I've had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is not realizing the impact and influence you have. Yeah.
But yeah, man, shout out to your loyal people. Oh man.
Let me just put the pitchforks away and just next time just pray for us.
That's all we need, man.
Not addresses.
That's all we need. Leave it in God's hands. But yeah, man, I think all in all, like this has been a good conversation.
Oh, 100, man.
I feel we've touched a lot of parts there. The one that really got me, and it's probably gonna stick with me for a while, is just how we talked about our parents
Yeah, man.
and how they are with our kids.
Yeah.
That one I think hit me.
Bro, it hit
the
me
most.
all of a sudden, eh? And it's funny because I've read that quote, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I never thought about it like fully until you mentioned it, and I was like sitting, and I think the reason why I got emotional because I started thinking about my parents.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, frick, man, these guys do so much. And there's a lot of times I always joke around to my wife and be like, bro, I never got any of this when I was growing up. Well, I always like tell my wife, like, don't tell mom and dad because I don't want to hassle them. If my kids got a play on at school or if they got something going on with their social stuff. My parents are always keen to show up.
Yeah.
And I always tell my wife, like, nah, don't tell them because it's too much of a hassle. They're busy.
Yeah.
But my wife still tells them and they show up and then I always giggle and I'm like, why didn't you show up to me?
Yeah.
I swear you left me at school for like 4 hours.
Man, but that quote there just gave everything a deeper sense. Yeah, deeper meaning. Like it actually brought the actions to life for me. Like it made sense, Just I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was beautiful. But yeah, man, talking about that, like how your missus lets your parents know. My son gave a talk at church last Sunday.
Yeah.
I didn't tell my mom. And so when my mom came over for lunch, man, that's all she brought up was like, why you didn't tell me? But you're right, like it's different for them, It's different for them. And I think, it could be a couple of things, but maybe they also realize their time, like the time's quite limited. So moments, every moment counts for them,
100,
big or small.
Yeah.
The fact that they're there, they're there with you and them, that's more than enough for them.
100, man.
Well, yeah, man. I think we're probably going to wrap things up now. That's been an awesome chat, man.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
All good. Once again, man, thank you, Havea, for coming on. Before we wrap up, is there any shout-outs or anything that you want to reach out to people that have, I guess, day one supporters for you that have helped you along the way to where you are now?
Shout out to you. Shout out to you for having me on.
Thank you.
As always, shout out to my wife, my girls, my family. And shout out to everyone that follows this platform, man. As much as I talk about like numbers don't get to me in terms of my following and stuff, I'm super grateful for the platform I have and the community I have. So shout out to you guys all. Shout out to me and my toko for choosing this over church today too. Hey, God is everywhere, to be honest, man. God is everywhere.
It's where our heart is,
Exactly.
Oh, man, please forgive me. Please forgive us.
We're good, Tako. We're good.
But yeah, once again, thank you so much, Havea, for coming through. I'll drop all the social media handles on my description below. But that's us. Thank you.